you.
Word of Trump's proposal, it spread like wildfire soon after it was released. At that moment, one senator took to the floor saying it was the single worst idea ever from a presidential candidate. Those words from the Oregon Democrat Jeff Merkley. Senator Merkley joins me now from Capitol Hill. So, Senator, you agree with Paul Ryan, who says this is more than just bad politics.
Oh, absolutely. This is wrong, and this is dangerous. It's wrong in terms of being completely out of sync with our American values and the vision established in our Constitution. But it's also dangerous because what ISIS has wanted is to create an appearance of a war between America and Islam. But we are not at war with Islam. We have Islamic nations that are key partners in our battle against extremism, against ISIS. We certainly have patriotic Americans of every religion working together, serving in the armed service, who are fighting together to take on ISIS. And so when you play in and give the exact idea that ISIS has wanted to cultivate, you are contributing to the radicalization of Muslims around the world, exact opposite of what we want. And this certainly hurts our national security.
We've heard military leaders, people fighting ISIS, say this gives ISIS what it wants. Back to Paul Ryan for a second here. He condemned Trump's comments, essentially calling them un-American, yet the Speaker of the House still indicated he would vote for Donald Trump if he is the nominee. Now, you are not on that side of the aisle, but in your mind, is that enough of a condemnation for Republican leadership? Do they need to come out harsher?
I think they do need to come out harsher, because this is, as was said earlier, this is not conservatism. This is not within the range of what is valid under our vision. We have those beautiful words into the base of the Statue of Liberty that says, give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. And we don't have then a star that says, unless or a coda that says, unless you happen to be Muslim. That is a complete mistake in every way. Our founders of our country wanted to make sure that anyone of any religion could come here and practice freely their beliefs. That is the foundation of our country. And so I think Donald Trump certainly is not expressing an understanding of our Constitution, an understanding of our history, understanding of our American values, and he really does disqualify him from being someone who would be in charge of the free world.
Leave Trump aside for a moment. Do you, Senator, think enough is being done to screen people when they come into the United States?
Certainly, we've had a big debate over the refugee program because a number of folks said they would not allow refugees to come in. Chris Christie said even a Syrian orphan under the age of 3, an infant, he would not allow to come in. We have the most extensive refugee screening process in the world. It takes 2 years. It goes into every aspect, and that is completely misguided. Certainly those who want to enter the United States to do harm wouldn't choose to go through a 2-year refugee process. We need to continue to be open to refugees from around the world. That is part of our American vision and our American values.
The President spoke Sunday night from the Oval Office. There's been some criticism that he didn't offer enough new ideas. What more do you want to hear from the President in how this country will fight ISIS both here at home and abroad going forward?
Well, I think the President stood up in a very clear fashion and made it the core point that we are not at war with Islam. And by the way, George W. Bush expressed this very effectively when he was president. It's not often that I can say I was in complete agreement with George W. Bush, but when he clarified that we're fighting extremism, we're fighting a terrorist organization, we are not at war with Islam, that is exactly the same vision that our president is laying out very correctly, in sync with our values, and it's the opposite of where Donald Trump is headed.
Senator Jeff Merkley from Oregon, thanks so much for being with us.
You're very welcome.